if I'm honest, I don't really have a name. The elves call me Ness or Nay, or Sapling in your woods. Ness is fine, because it's a lot of words otherwise. We didn't really need names in the tribe, other than Marlo for friend, or Amal for mother. The last thing I remember of my mother was her pressing this into my hand and pushing me into the river. I didn't really realise it at the time, but she was saving 2 lives. The river carried me away and kept me safe, me and the thing in my hand. All I knew was the river, the moonlight, and the screams. And when I got home again, all I saw was black ash and rot. I knew why she did it. I wasn't supposed to have this. Anna was meant to be the next Amal. Maybe she'd have known what to do with the seed of a tree that's older than my mother's mother's mother. And the thing I carry, I know it's a person, though I don't know her name, and I've never seen her face. I know she relies on me. I think I'm the only one left. So we have each other, and since I met Xavier in the Penth, in the place where the elves sing stones into buildings in the sky, I have the Nosse Ambar too. So now I'm a leaf that's blown on the wind. I go where she calls, and wherever I settle, or fall, maybe something will grow.
Oh, you're still alive? Good for you. From birth, I was sculpted into the perfect vessel for the reincarnation of the Raven Queen. This was the destiny that my parents had chosen for me. However, as a big supporter of free will, I ran. I ran and ran for a long, long time. Her creatures pursued me at every stop. Every moment I took to breathe, they took to sink their claws deeper in my back. When I decided to stop running, when I killed the shadows that followed me, I received these tattoos as a brand. They are my story, my life, and her special little way of saying see you soon. It's not all bad though. I get to hear music again. I've sailed on the ocean. I met some good people, a new family, new friends. I have new purpose, people that I need to protect. I feel alive again. I've been called monster. I've been called demon. More recently, Memento Mori. I have no qualms with monster. And if you think me a demon, trust me when I say that, to save the people I love, I would go to the depths of hell. My name is Nepenthe Erdu. Destiny is what we make of it.
Dear Miss Ronax Melodies, please provide the following information via the sending stone that we have provided. When doing so, please be sure to note out all the contents of this letter so that the record can be played back with the utmost accuracy. Thank you. Sincerely, St. Claudius Graduate Association. Full name: Ronax Linverno Melodies. Age: I am 23 years old and was adopted by Olam and Lena Melodies. Garb that you will be attending our graduation in: elegant leathers and a full corset atop a simple white blouse, presenting some of the fine craftsmanship of Thessalia, along with custom-made shoes and a coat that has been passed down in my family for the last 6 generations. Height and weight, so that you may be fitted for cap and gown. Oh, goodness. 6'4" and 220 pounds. A brief description of the invention you shall be presenting at the time of your graduation. A handheld Magitech-like cannon device that will send projectiles of varying potency out in a rapid manner that will hopefully aid in incapacitating those who would be hostile to our legion. A brief description of who will be sponsoring your graduation. My teacher, Provost Ligarius Hippolytus, Master of Arcane Technology. Something of note you have done for your country. Pre-graduation. I intend to be delivering a parcel for one Ligarius Hippolytus to the capital of Ryfield. Future goals you intend to do with your diploma once you receive.
And we're live. Hello!
Hello!
Hi. Hello.
Welcome back to Chronicles of Lorei'an. That's what I forgot. I forgot my witty three-liner. Hi, Lara. that's
Hi.
it. That's the thing I forgot. Oh no.
Just wing it.
I'll wing it. Welcome back to Chronicles of Lorei'an, where we delve into dangerous ruins, beat up some fucking raiders, and activate ancient technology lost to time. There we go.
If you hadn't said
Nice.
anything, I wouldn't have known.
Wait, you like pre-plan those?
Yeah.
Oh!
Okay, now I can continue on with the session without a worry in mind. Okay. Last time, the party of Nase Ambar ventures into the Thordakian desert of North Ura, with an Aiden Kai, grandson of Aurelon Kai, as their guide. Starting off their journey from Viveris, they head towards S1, a particular series of ruins that had already been uncovered even before the earthquakes. At S1, they encounter a number of individuals proclaiming themselves to be the Red Banner Raiders. It is here that one of our party members snapped at the at the thought of bandits potentially raiding these very valuable historical sites for wealth and fortune, and fired off a shot into their leader's gut. A battle broke out, whereupon the six of you completely fucking beat up every single member of the Red Banner Raiders. Many of them end up fleeing and getting stomped by your Paracerathium into human pancakes, and tying up two of their leaders. Some emotional and philosophical discussions were had, and you had come to the realization that their two leaders, one and a half-orc called Zark, and the tiefling Odessa. The half-orc is reasonably able to be talked to. Odessa, on the other hand, is just an individual who is very far gone mentally, and has attempted to stab Xavier in the back and didn't succeed, dealing a significant amount of damage. And so you incapacitated the two, talk to them a little bit, and head into the ruins of S1. Now, within the ruins itself, you found a series, well, Ronax found first, a series of writing in Old Draconic. Whereupon was written accounts, it seems, of the Realm Shatter, in a place called, I can find it in my notes here. This first area, or S1, was called Arixschaft, also denoted to be a bunker that people were hiding in following the Realm Shatter itself, when it just had happened. You dig through ruins. You find bodies with stone tablets recounting various details of their times within the bunker. And the session ended off with all of these magical devices coming back to life in an old abandoned dome area, it seems, with paintings of what seems like the divines overhead, the old elven king standing amidst an army of paladins and heavily armored individuals, and on the opposite end, an army armored in complete black with red eyes. And the painting came to life following a sequence of events using the Crystal of Amplification, whereupon amplifying the magic within the space, using Ronax's amulet to sort of project the images being seen with detect thoughts onto the wider area. That was where we finished off last time. As the images come to life, is there anything that anybody is doing within this time? I'm just gonna go ahead and ask as the events of the Realm Shatter itself unfold before your eyes.
Just watching.
Okay. You watch.
Uh,
Yeah, go ahead.
I think I remember last time Xavier asked me to watch over the two bandits, right? Just making sure.
Yes, you
Okay.
are unfortunately not part of this.
That's okay. Maybe the cats come and tell me about it soon. Wink, wink.
Yeah, Xavier can just pull the memory out of one of our heads and show them.
Yeah, he absolutely can. So in this moment, almost the roughly painted cave images almost seem to take a life onto them, becoming more realistic, more lifelike, moving as if the images were projected from a bird's eye view. You see before you a battlefield raging with screams and people charging into battle. On one side, you see bearing flags are humans, dragonborn, and elves. A large chunk of them elves, actually. You see the what presumably are the magical constructs of the Sith kingdom, the kingdom of Sith. These mechanical dragon constructs resembling Vorax, but much larger in size. You see these soldiers who are humanoid in shape, winding with exposed gears and steam, swords for hands, some larger, having like massive rocket war hammers on one side of their arms, rush into battle, swinging. The battlefield explodes with bodies, and you look and see 3 of what you presume to be the old elven kings, as they are depicted in the one scene deep in the seas of the Oceanus Terrarum, where the 4 of them stand side by side. Here you only see 3. One is missing from the bunch. The elven kings stand tall, all sorts of leathers, leaves, and crowns of antlers upon their heads, wielding staffs and swords. Let me go ahead and put on some more. There we go. You notice that the battlefield, the way that the fight is going, even with these mechanical dragon constructs and an army of mechanical soldiers and elves and men rushing into battle, it seems to be going rather one-sided and not within the favor of the side that is fighting against the army of black. In fact, the army of these blackened armor individuals, humanoids, seems to be calling forth jet black streams of energy from the earth itself, raising up their swords, and pillars of black corrupting energy bursting forth from the earth, killing people in the thousands, it seems. You look towards the 3 elven kings, who look at each other, share a nod, as they call upon a column of clerics and paladins who walk up to the front lines, raise up their holy symbols and staves. And you see that from the center of the battlefield itself strikes a brilliant beam of light. like a satellite laser situation. Not outwards from the earth, but down from the heavens, as the clouds themselves part, and the light shines down from above, radiant, blinding, and tearing asunder the armies of black armor. This beam of light, destructive as it may be, connects a pathway that opens up above in the skies, spanning miles wide. A portal, it seems, or hole opens up in the skies above. And that is when you see the various depicted imagery of the gods above now start coming to life, and you see their images and forms flicker, and looking down upon the battlefield from above, you see a dragon-scaled platinum breathes his silvery beam of breath down upon the mortal plane. You see the orange-haired elven woman raise up trees and roots that overwhelm the battlefield and tie up the enemies in spires and roots and trees. You see the also elven woman in greenish armor slams her sword down, and bursts of green energy and light explode throughout the battlefield. Seemingly the gods are aiding this side in battle. That is when the forces that stand opposite, you see their army generals provide a clearing in the backside. Walking up, you see a heavily armored individual, almost Death Knight-like in design. Eyes, these bulbs of glowing red, wings of black emerge from the columns of individuals. Maybe 5 or 6 mages stand with these unusually long poles behind him. These poles going up maybe 9-10 feet. These very long staves that they now start waving in the air, channeling. And you watch as the shadows of the battlefield start to gather and coalesce into forms that gather upon the top of their staves, these blackened voids of energy. And as they do, you watch from the sky, winged angels descend from the portals above down to the mortal plane. These beings of divine light, their wings spread open, with flaming holy swords descend down from the heavens and strike down the army of blackness and dark. From the pillar, from the column of 6 or so mages, a chain is pulled. And from behind, a man, a human male, dressed in greenish white robes, chained by the neck, is pulled up among the ranks of the 6 mages by the man in black armor himself. And you recognize this figure. Looking down upon the battlefield, you almost try to focus your vision as Joel is dragged out onto the battlefield on the armies, the armies of black side. His eyes seem to wander without focus on them, as the leader of the army grabs him by the back of the neck. And the black mages behind start now channeling this ball of black energy that coalesce. He impales Joel with his greatsword, and a spark of light fades and vanishes as he now holds a key in his hand. This very malformed, ancient-looking construct of a key. And he holds it up to the skies and twists. And at the same time, the energy of black disperses like fireworks into the ground and into the earth. You see that the roots conjured up by one of the gods start to rot and wither and fade. You watch as the beam of light itself coming down from the sky. Where it comes down, a massive hole opens up in the earth. This gaping blackness and all-consuming void rips open from the earth's core. And from beneath it, you see shadowy, fleshy limbs. Like the one you saw in your dream, Nepenthe. The exact scene of these bloodied limbs crawling up the beam of light. They ascend, grasping onto each whatever they can grasp on, and as it does, this pillar of limbs and bodies and flesh start to ascend, and as it does, the beam of light starts to become corrupted gray, turning black with each climb. As the energy conjured up by these mages disperse, explode, a wave of dark energy washes over. And the angels, as they descend from the sky, you watch as their feathers darken and are stripped from their very backs, and they start falling, plummeting. And from the portal opened up from below, you watch as black-winged, pale, corpse-like figures, long arms holding staves and wearing various bones of twisted creatures and antlers upon their faces, fly up and start impaling the angels mid-air. A rain of blood descends upon the battlefield. You watch as the forces of elves and men and dragonborn now look truly desperate, aghast, as if something horrible and unplanned has happened. The army on the opposing side takes the key and throws it. The key spins, clattering onto the battlefield, eventually being picked up by one of these black-winged creatures who flies into the beam of light, dispersing. You watch now as these limbs starting to crawl up the beam of light start to birth creatures of flesh, abominations, bloodied, arms sticking out of their torso, eyes empty, dark voids start pouring out of the beam of light itself and slaughter the forces on the opposite end. And the beam of light does not stop expanding and expanding and expanding until eventually starts overtaking the forces of good itself. The three elven kings pull each other by the shoulders and shake their heads at each other. They say something, you can't hear what it is that they're saying, but the forces start pulling back. You look up once more, and the divine gate that has been opened up starts to crack like a pane of glass. The light that comes down from the heavens starts to become infected with gray and black and rot as into the heavens themselves it disperses. And you watch as the various imagery of the gods coalesce and shift and fuse and they scream out in terror, a scream heard throughout the heavens and beyond the realms of men and mortals and into the far realms beyond. This soul-shattering scream. And this, like, sort of blob that the gods have been fused into, a deformed cacophony of their faces and forms and voice, stay that way for a few moments before shattering along with the divine gate itself, and their forms streak like falling, like shooting stars down from the divine planes above, and start falling into the material plane. The Black Army turns their back towards the side and also retreat. That is when the vision starts to fizzle like static on television screen, and the crystal drops to the ground, and all of the screens fade. It is now a completely dark dome that you are in.
Ness stood just staring straight ahead into the darkness.
When the gods were helping, like, the light side army, what was the Raven Queen doing?
The Raven Queen, oddly enough, is like this all-encompassing shadow behind them. And the thing she was doing, she wasn't participating in the battle firsthand. However, as you watch each soul get slain upon the battlefield, she would raise her hands and the souls of the departed would float up and above into the divine gate.
The pen leaves then.
See, Xavier stumbles backwards and back onto a wall. He lets go of the detect thought spell. Hand on his temples. He looks dazed and just in mental shock. You're not quite sure if this is from seeing the vision, but or from casting an immense amount of spell and those thoughts being channeled directly into his mind. His eyes close and he falls unconscious in that moment in the room.
Wait. Oh, is he okay? And I fumble around in the dark for Xavier because after hearing him fall.
You find his body collapsed against a wall. He is breathing heavily, and you feel around. His forehead seems to be building up a fever of sorts. Eyes closed. He's still there, just under some sort of backlash from this effect. It seems.
Yeah. Can I figure out if I figure he'll be all right with just rest?
Make a medicine check.
Was I the only one in there other than Xavier who could see in the dark?
That is a natural 20 for a 27.
I believe Ronax was also there. Amabilis cannot see in the dark, but she was also there. Natural 20 medicine. For 27, jeez. You immediately go in to wipe sweat from his brow, feeling up and checking his pulse. It seems like the casting of this spell, especially with detect thoughts, you've seen him suffer from minor effects before, but this being also amplified by the crystal seems to have worsened him for wear, and so you're quite sure with a few days of rest he will be able to recover. Not a few days, but maybe a night or so of rest he would recover, but you're not quite sure of the long-lasting magical effects that this applies to him.
He's all right. I think he wore a bit of his brain out. Let's sit down on the rebel. Does anyone have a light?
Ronax leans over and just kind of slowly ignites her torch again.
As you see Ness's face, you do see that there's tears, like tear stains. You think they did the right thing? The ones that left, the ones that went and made Greenhaven. Because I always thought that they did the right thing, but I don't know. I watched that and I thought I would have wanted to be there and try and stop it.
I don't think that there was any use in stopping it at that point. I think that it was simply a matter of inevitability.
Yeah. I don't know what they did, but that was bad.
Amabilis? The book? Sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say, as Ronex put on a light over Savior, she runs over, and you also see that she also has tears in her eyes, but she doesn't necessarily say anything, but sat down next to Savior, just holding his hand.
Last session, the book that you had with you, the journal, it started glowing amidst a various number of other magical items within the party's possession. At this point, the crystal, the three crystals that you have, one on Nepenthe, the one in Vorax, and the one on Xavier, also still has this faint blue glow about them. The book also has a strange yellowish glow. The necklace around Ness's neck has a greenish kind of emerald glow. Let me see, what else is there within your possession? I suppose that's all. Yeah.
Can I ask where is Joel's necklace right now?
It is with Amabilis.
I see. Okay.
Yeah, that does not glow. Oh, and the raven feather.
Okay. Was this the last session?
Yes, it had started glowing before the vision, and it continues to glow even now, even after everything has faded, almost seemingly to convey something like a longing to that moment that's not quite understood through words, but almost the fact that they stay lit up after the vision has ended almost seems to portray desire to go back, like a desire to stay there longer. Do you get what I'm saying? Like how a movie has ended, but you're like, you want to continue watching.
So Ness is still running through in his mind all the crazy stuff that they just saw. You tell me about the key again.
Okay.
Did you said that Joelle was stabbed through the chest and then
turned into a key. That
key turned into a key.
Joelle turned into a key.
Oh god, I'm getting goosebumps.
That is the part that the Ness most cannot wrap his head around.
And in raising this key and making a twisting motion with it in the air, the hole beneath the earth opened up, and that's where the limb sprouted.
Did when you mentioned the or the roots that Melora was creating becoming blackened and blighted?
Yes.
Was that familiar to me?
Uncannily so.
Yeah, I'm gonna need a minute.
So the party sort of disperses in this moment, I feel. Not too direct or anything, but I would assume you take Xavier and take him outside and rest him on the sand, perhaps. What are you doing? What are we doing here?
I stay in the dome.
Okay.
Is Nepenthe carrying Xavier out?
I left before
Oh,
he
you left.
passed out.
Okay.
Pretty much as
then,
soon as the vision ended, Nepenthe left the dome.
Then I'll bring him, because out of me and Damavilis, I'll have
I'm walking beside Ness.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just gonna I'm gonna put him up on Rexamar and well, get him out of the heat and get him some water. Just if anything weird happens, just shout really loud. Say to Ronex.
Oh, of course. Thank you.
And carry him out to where's Nepenthe when I bring him out.
She's standing sort of at the edge of the firelight of the camp that's there, just sort of staring off into the distance.
And what time of day is it, by the way?
I think it's night, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's night. It's night.
Oh yeah, because it was becoming night when we
when you happen to be in the camp. Yeah.
I'll bring Xavier out and go. He's all right. He's just I think he's hurt a bit of his brain.
Oh
But
God. Yeah, you probably know better than me.
Well, doesn't really know what he's done to himself, because it's sort of magic-y stuff that he does. But
Yeah.
I think he just needs some rest. So I'm going to put him up on Rexamar on one of the beds.
Yeah. Good idea.
Yeah. What did you think about all that?
There's just a lot of things I don't understand. Because, realistically, the Dark Army could have... Granted, not... They didn't make it out, but the Dark Army could have crushed them themselves. I mean, there were thousands of them. The light gods had fallen. And just just questions, I guess. But we're not likely to get any answers, so...
Yeah. Was she different to what you thought she would be?
She's always been, well, I guess not always, but I always thought she was evil, but she was... The thing is, Ness, she knew. She knew it was gonna happen. And she stayed. And... obviously she's not dead, but... I would have thought that somebody evil would have run from that a lot faster.
Yeah, I doesn't really understand what she is. I feel like it's a little bit like nature. Like, I don't think she. I don't think she maybe is good or evil. I think maybe she just is.
Maybe you're right.
But the thing that's chasing you, that feels different. I doesn't understand it.
You should go take care of him.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, he's not doing him any good being out here. Oh, well,
If you wanna, rest up there with him, I think I'm gonna take first watch. Let Amaryllis and Akil get some rest too.
yeah.
I'm with Xavier at the moment.
You like riding on top of him.
Yeah.
He's sitting on his chest. He is sweating, burning up.
Yeah, he's gonna need some water. I'm gonna stay up with him a little bit because I think I might need to watch the stars for a bit.
I'll be down by the fire.
Yeah. Lots of work to do.
Alright.
No.
I guess we'll go around here. First watch, I think Rora has the pen is already established she will be taking. So I guess you will be alone in this instance, or okie dokie. So you take first watch on top of Raxumar or down at camp?
Down at camp.
Okay.
Because I have to watch over our prisoners as well.
Right. Odessa and Zark are both passed out in this instance. You walk down to see Akil. You knelt down over them, kind of like taking out some bandage and going over some of the wounds, as Goff has told me in PM. Yeah, Akil, describe what you're doing here.
Yeah, I'm just gonna tend their wounds in the camp. Wrap around and just trying to fix them, yeah.
Okay.
And I think I'm gonna take the first watch with the pen. Yeah.
Okie dokie.
Alright, well, at least I know you're not going to be against this. I'd like to try to wake up Sark.
Sure. I won't require a roll for that. He is not passed out due to pain, but rather due to fatigue and exhaustion. You go and shake him by the shoulders. His eye opens up, kind of dreary. Oh, that's not the... Sorry. I wanted to stay on that track. Okay. Zark's eyes shoots open and looks at you and says, "What do you want?"
Are you hungry?
Could be doing worse. Or are you playing nice?
I'm not playing nice, I'm just being decent.
Being decent means letting us go.
No, I'm pretty sure you beat up an old man and stuff, so... So do you want food or not?
That's a 2. You see, he reluctantly looks up in your direction. Would be nice.
Depends.
Yeah.
I don't think there's old man or desert anywhere here.
Wait, what?
He says there's probably no old men around here in the desert.
Yeah, it was earlier. I'm pretty sure. Do I have the option of untying you, or are you gonna escape?
No promises.
I really don't want to have to feed you myself.
You can make a intimidation check, but instead of adding your charisma, you can add your strength.
Okay. Intimidation.
Oh, that's a
didn't
very
have
good question. Aiden has passed out on the porch of Raxamar.
He couldn't find what he couldn't find what Xavier said I'm looking for, so we passed out.
Yeah. No, actually, he's
I
not
love
passed out on
that
the
stuff.
porch. He's passed out in one of the studies. It's kind of like leaning on a bookshelf, like drooling.
Yeah. After I
That's
put
actually a
Xavier into bed, I'm gonna tidy him up as well.
Okay. We'll get to that in a second. 13's actually decent. I'm gonna... Yeah, that's not gonna... Says, if I tried to run, you would chop me up with the axe anyway. I suppose I have no options. And so kind of like scoots his back towards you where his hands are tied together.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and untie him and pull some rations from my pouch and hand them over.
Okay. What sort of food is it? Is it like dried stuff from the ship?
Yeah, it's probably dried stuff. I think we might have picked up some fresher stuff before we left, so I might grab like an apple if we have it, but I don't know exactly what we picked up.
You watch the... Actually, did us describe Zark as a full-blooded orc or a half-orc?
I think you said half orc once and orc twice.
In my notes, in my notes I have him as half orc, so I'll stick with half orc. He is like more on the side of an orc than on the side of whatever half the other one is.
He's a 3/4 orc.
He's a 3/4 orc. His father was an orc and his mother was a half orc. Yeah. So you watch as this very large, muscular orc with like this huge tusk coming out of one mouth, right? Takes your rations and he just shovels it down his mouth, takes an apple, and like matter of seconds it is gone. This man is starving.
We have plenty, so until he's full.
More.
Yeah.
He downs 2 portions. Before finally putting. Do you give him fork and spoons? No, he just puts the empty bowls down and like kind of curls up and like hugs his own ankles.
Thank you.
Just being decent.
Radar and Jigsaw and all of the other people. They were nice people.
Sometimes you just, you get caught with the wrong leader. And,
Zark said I was as much as a leader as him.
No, sorry, not Zark. Odessa said I was as much of a leader as him.
do you really believe that, though?
I go wherever they go. And I beat up whoever stands in our way. Clearly, I'm the leader.
You mean you go where Odessa tells you to go, and you beat up who Odessa tells you to beat up?
Odessa's the smart one. He's kept us alive.
Odessa is cruel, and you have to know that.
Him annoying. Grown up small children. In town. No food. No house. Stuck by each other's side. He was ambitious. He founded us. He guided us.
Do you not think that if he was so clever and ambitious, he could have found a way to get food and money and a house without hurting people?
If this job went well, we would have gotten food and house. And we wouldn't have to hurt nobody else. We're going to get gold from the ruins. Bring them back and sell. And our bellies would be full. And we'd live in a nice, spacious house. Just like we wanted.
Anything hurting people is worth that.
We were
And he's like, you see, he's in self-conflict right now. Like, they've done a lot of shitty stuff. And then he's being confronted for his misdeeds, and this feels like getting scolded by a teacher for the first time.
Odessa said, we're getting by.
I didn't ask what Odessa said.
But he
Looks at the bloodied, unconscious, red tiefling next to him.
But what do I do next?
I can't let you go. You have to know that.
No. Wherever he goes, I go.
And what if he dies? What will you do then?
Turns his back to you.
They may imprison you, but I don't know what they're gonna do to him.
No life not living free is a life worth living. He points towards one of the tattered banners that are like impaled onto the floor, where it's just this entirely red cloth that's kind of torn apart at this point.
I know that you would follow Odessa anywhere, but if you were free, and free of him as well, what would you do?
I would. See, like a smile curls up his mouth. I would eat and drink and live free.
No one can blame you for that.
He said we needed this. We needed this. This was our way out. No more going to bed hungry. No more cold nights in the streets. This was our big chance. But you's gone and destroyed it.
So I jumped the axe a little bit.
He's going to look at you. While he says this, why don't you make an insight check? And the way that this conversation is steering, I'll allow you to make one with advantage. He says, "Let me go. I'll take Odessa. I'll take the bodies. And we'll go far away. Let us be." With a 10, you're not quite sure if this is like a plea, like a last attempt plea, or if he's being genuine. It can either be a plea or a part of a promise at this point. It's up to you to decide, I guess.
Here are these. Do I know if they left right here right now, will they survive the harsh environment of desert?
Make a with advantage, I'll say make a survival check. If you've been through these parts a lot.
Survival.
Check, advantage. Yeah. 21. You're not. Oh man, if they went down into like the middle Ura portion, it's gonna be hard. But however, if they went straight for the Dolith from here, maybe they would make it. If they went for the Three Kominakri sort of tribal area, if they don't get caught up in the conflicts of the tribes there, then maybe they would make it, but not if they went straight out into the middle of the desert.
Nothing. I don't think it's a quite good idea to let them go. I think they would die actually.
The ones that ran. I wish to find them. Bring them with us. Completely oblivious to the fact that Akio had been shooting them down one by one.
Oh, right. Did any of them make it away?
No.
No, he mowed them down pretty good.
But okay, what wasn't there like the like Tabaxian humanoids who ran mid-fight?
There were about, if I recall correctly, 2 or 3 that got away from the stomping rampage of Rexamar. There were 6 that ran in the southern direction, all of whom got mowed down by Akio because they were severely hurt, and Akio was just taking pot shots and flying and like raining arrows down on them.
So he's like, I want to find the ones that ran, and Nepenthe is like,
What do you think initiated that flashback? Obviously out of game knowledge, but yeah.
Yeah. Are there the people here today? Was that everybody?
There's more back in Lyveris. Not the strong ones. The strong ones we brought here.
I have to. I have to think. But regardless of if I let you go or not, I can't let you take Odessa. He nearly killed my friend.
He abruptly stands up at that. He's a little taller than you, so he looks down at your eyes, not with like rage. For a moment, you fear that he would try something really stupid, but then at mentioning not letting Odessa go, he just shoots up, and like you brace for impact as if he was gonna sock you in the face, but instead, like you close your eyes and flinch, and for the moment you open them back up, and he is standing there holding his palms up to you.
You would truly rather follow him to possible death than to be free and find the rest of your people without him.
He is our guide. He always knows what to do and where to go. I wouldn't be here without him. And so, I intend... Sorry, the orc voice is a bit heavy. I intend for him to not go anywhere without me either. At least in a cell there is food, and there is a roof over our heads.
Very well. And I'll go ahead and tie him back up, I guess.
He sits back down with his hands tied. Scoots up to Odessa and like leans up against his shoulder and just begins to nod off again.
Ness is with watching Xavier in his room, but he's looking out of the window, but not at the stars. He's looking down at the silhouettes of the figures in the firelight.
Is at this point that the items stop glowing.
I knew he's asleep and all, but I'm really proud of him.
Do you say this just
out loud to
just
Xavier?
out loud? Okay.
I'll see why you love her. She could be a good Amal.
You look back and Amabilis is sitting on Xavier's like belly.
No, I'm actually,
There and hearing it all.
I'm actually I'm reading a book for Xavier quietly, and is the Rowan
Is
Chesterbury.
it? Yeah, I was about to ask, is this the story of Rowan Chesterbury?
Yeah.
Okay. She's like laying down like mid reading next to Xavier. Sorry. Is there anything else you wanted from there?
That's it.
Okay. So she continues reading. You go maybe 2 chapters in before you yourself your eyes start to become heavy, Amabilis, and you just fall asleep right beside Xavier. Ronax, alone in S1, or Eric's child, I should call it. What are you doing?
Oh boy.
Forax is next to you, lying down on all fours.
Why now? And she turns towards Vorax. Why would you go and show us this now?
Tilts his head to the side.
What is it that you needed to show us this? Why us?
Looks at you. Eyes glowing the same orange red. Looks at your amulet. Looks at the crystal in his own chest. Silence.
Do I know anything about those the Dark Army?
The Dark Army.
Mhm.
Make a history check. This is gonna be a relatively high DC. There are. I'm not gonna say anymore.
Can I make it with advantage?
Because of these circumstances, I will say yes. There are a few things that are noticeable. 21. This is less of recalling from studies because you've heard nothing of this in your studies, but recalling from your immediate memory. Because as attentive as a person as you are, amidst all of that, having no particular connection to the sight of the gods overhead, you don't have as much of an emotional connection to be looking up at them as Xavier, Nepenthe, and Ness were. But instead, you were looking down at the Dark Army, and you noticed that the channelers that were behind the presumably leader general of that army, the clothes they were wearing, and though their facial features and skin weren't exactly alike, the colors of which they were wearing, the robes, and the just the overall color of their magic was an exact match with the deathlock that you fought in Slumberlog.
Ronax paces. She's got the fire in her hand, and she actually drops it, kind of stamps it out. Are they coming back? Is that why you've shown us this now?
So as with stomping out the light, the interior of this dome is now completely dark. You watch for 2 seconds. Ronax's orange eyes turn blue. And almost in kind of like a leftover momentum from all of those screens flickering to life, you didn't notice that in that moment his eyes were also blue. And so within his blue eyes projects almost a hologram image for 2 seconds in front of you. Not text, but of a female red dragonborn. She's like up close to the camera. The hologram shows her face and torso. And she looks very, very grieved and in panic. Sweat pours down her forehead. She says, "No time. Go now. No time." Back to Orange.
You can't just keep doing this to me. And she walks up to Vorax and kind of grabs him by the head. Show me. Show me more. Now.
Like sad, whirring noises.
You showed us this, whatever, this realm shatter. Show us more. Show me more. Now. I can't.
Like,
My mind. This is too much for me. I need to know more.
Like a sad puppy, he retracts back and like looks up at you.
I know that there's something else going on inside you.
He, like, almost as in a moment of just realizing something, runs over to one of the piles of rocks and starts digging. And with his maw, fetches up another one of those stone tablets that was just lit up earlier, and runs back to you holding it in his mouth.
How big is it?
Smaller than the previous one. It's almost like an iPad Air. But it's a stone tablet.
At this point, she looks at Vorax over and stares at the crystal in his chest. And then back at the tablet. She begins to pace. And as she does, there's this flick of flames that kind of come from her nose. And the way that she walks is very stocky in this moment, very frustrated. Back and forth and back and forth. And her tail is whipping about very irritatedly. Before she walks up to him and kind of wrenches the tablet from his face.
He lets go. Tail also wagging in a similar manner. He lets out exhaust steams from below him. Which you've come to know means satisfaction or relief. There's a notch at the back of this tablet, just like the one that you had found in the other room.
This will not satisfy my mind. But I suppose if you are not going to show me anything else, if it is not going to show me anything else, I will take what I can get.
You flick the thing open.
Mm-hmm.
Text appears on the screen. You recognize this one. It was one of the ones that stood out to you when the all of the screens came to light and flickered. This is the one that says hope. Hope lies in Eridum.
Hope. How can you even have hope after something like that? This is ridiculous.
Like points up his nose up at and like shakes his head. There's some semblance of something else here. Hope lies in Eridum.
Eridum. She begins pacing again, back and forth and back and forth. I'm gonna try something that I
Of course.
haven't tried before.
What are you gonna be doing?
She reaches to the back of her neck and kind of undoes the clasp on the of the band for her pendant, and lays it on the tablet. And she's just going to kind of put some of her artificing magic into it.
This does nothing more than to expand the text that is written on the tablet itself, and almost it pops out in the same way that all of those images in the room popped out into holograms previously.
What is Eridum? What is it? Where is it? Is it a person? Is it a thing? Place? Hope lies in Eridum. She looks up at Borax. Come here.
Excitedly runs up to you.
She puts the tablet down very gently, and just kind of using his light, she goes and she powers him down, and she removes the crystal from inside of his chest.
See the armor plates clasp back together. His extended exposed form compacts. He exhaust comes out as he powers down. Crystal still glowing brightly in the room. It has grown after the fact of using that spell, and fractures of almost tree root like in nature have extended outwards from the crystal itself. Fractals, sorry, not fractures.
I don't know what you are. I don't know which one of those that you were. I don't know what any of this is. I don't know what any of it means. I don't know why. I don't know, and it bothers me. It bothers me so. I don't know and I don't understand. I wish you would tell me. I wish that I could look into your mind like Xavier does. All of the answers. Just there. Maybe even more questions, but still more answers. Right here, right in the palm of my hand. I can't have any of them. What I am, what this is. Why? 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 She inhales a breath of air and takes a hold of the crystal and wrenches it up into the air, almost as if she's about to shatter it on the floor. She grips it hard, and her claws dig and scrape at it. Sometimes I wish I was a brute. Sometimes I wish I could just let this go. And she brings it back down and kind of unceremoniously shoves it back into Vorax.
Does he power back on?
Mm-hmm.
Looks back up at you. Pronax, why don't you take a point of inspiration for that scene?
Thank you.
If nothing more is to be said, the
Mhm.
night progresses and into the morning. There we go. A night of sleep is had by all. Amabilis, you recover from your point of exhaustion as the heat burn starts to heal over your body. You wake up next to Xavier, who is still whose breathing has slowed, but has come to a normal sort of pace. His fever has gone down, but he is still out today. So what are you doing all in the morning today?
Is everyone else awake or are they still asleep?
That's a good question. Is everyone awake?
Yeah. The issue is we were going to use sending to contact the city, and Xavier is calm.
Right.
So...
Yeah.
we get to figure that one out.
Yeah. It seems like for the time being, you may have to bring these two prisoners along with you for the time.
Could we take him to the big city? You know, the star one.
Then Dolith.
Let's see the map.
It's really only as far away as we came from Lorei'an.
Yeah, because I don't want to have to deal with them if we're going to have to, like, dungeon dive.
Aiden stretches, walks up. Good morning.
Morning.
Hello.
Is there any idea about what we're gonna do with those prisoners back down there?
Well, we were going to have Xavier cast a spell to get the attention of some guards or soldiers or something, but he's not up yet.
Right, something happened in there the other night, didn't it? Geez, well, I sorry to say I couldn't find the piece of paper he was looking for. I looked all night. But, well, if I could be of use, Wyveris isn't too far away from here and I have the map memorized. You could give me one of the camels you had bought and I can take them back myself to Wyveris if you want, and then meet you back in one of the locations if you want. I can do that.
Are you sure? I don't want them to overpower you on the way.
Psh, overpower me? I suppose still have a lot to learn, but I should be fine, really. It's not that far, it's only a day. If we're lucky, this one will stay out, and like points to Odessa. This one will stay out until we arrive, and I can bring them back to the Temple of the Sun. An overseer can perhaps deal with them somehow. He's a good man.
I kind of lower my voice. And please make note to your overseer that Odessa was very much the head of this operation. I don't know if Zark had as much choice as he says he did.
No, it's... I'll see what I can do, okay? We have lots of monks that are in training over at the Temple of the Sun. We have a couple of people who are very, very strong. I'll see if we can root out the rest of the operation and bring the rest of them in. You'll be fine without a guide. Am I right? I'm so sorry to be departing from you so soon, but if this requires immediate attention, then I suppose I'll have to be the one to do it.
I think with a map, we'll be just fine. We've done plenty of traveling before.
Might I ask then, where are you going next? I can meet you there in 2 days.
S3.
S3, and he like thinks S3. Oh, that's the one where, okay. Yeah, I can. Yeah, totally. I'll if I get lost at least before leaving, I'll ask for another map from Grandpa. I'll be sure to tell him that you've dealt with these folk. Yeah, I suppose I should be going then. No use dilly-dallying about.
Is Zark awake?
He is.
I trust you'll be amenable.
As long as Odessa's here with me.
And I'm gonna go ahead and drop just, a small bag of rations in his lap, and then head to prepare for us to leave. Leave Aiden to take care of them.
He stands up. Walks over to Aiden. I see Aiden kind of like side smile, like, better not try anything funny there, big guy. I got you. And the Zark just says, and walks over to the camel. Aiden starts to tie the body of Odessa back onto like the back saddle of one of the camels that you brought. Hopped onto the front. And looks back at you and says, "Please be safe. I'll catch up with you as soon as I can. When your friend wakes up, he can probably contact me, correct?"
Yeah. When he does, we'll let you know exactly where we are.
Well, say goodbye to the others for me. I should really be on my way. Thank you for this. Your methods may be a little off the rails and cruel at times, but you're heroes. And I respect that. I truly do. From the bottom of my heart. I can only wish to become like you one day.
Well, they do say never meet your heroes. But, you better get going. And I just smack the back of the camel.
I have no idea how to like gets dragged off, shouting into the deserts back east. There you go. See, this is why you always have an NPC handy.
Okay, then I think we just keep packing up. If Ness wants to drive Raxmar again, I'll stay in the hut with Xavier.
Okay.
Yep.
All right.
I'm
So
with Xavier too.
okay, you're being cat pillow. Amabilis is like walking like mental therapy. Oh, just because, and this is a very good opportunity for this. Would you have instructed Aiden to pick up the commissioned piece of armor from Vivarius on the way back?
Didn't he say it would take 2 weeks?
Oh shit, he did. Never mind.
We've been gone for 2 days.
Yeah. Because in my brain I thought it was like, was it 2 days or 2 weeks? It was probably 2 days. Okay, yeah. If you remember, and your memory is better than mine, it was probably 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
Because
cool,
I've been counting down the days. So.
Thank you. Yeah, it's difficult to keep track of a lot of things. So the party mounts back up on Raxamar, who you all now head in the direction of S3, correct?
Yep.
Okie dokie. Actually, no,
On the
that's the
road.
wrong track. I wanted to play this one.
For reference, I would have brought that tablet with me.
Okay. All right. So for today's journey, as you are going to be traveling the leg of the journey from S1 to S3 is going to take about 2 days. So there's going to be a night on the back of Raxamar taking rest. On the first day of this journey, I'm going to need someone to roll me a d8.
I vote Annabelle.
Oh, can I roll?
Yes, please go ahead.
While we traveling, can I kill walk instead of riding on Rex?
Yeah, absolutely. Can you do what? Sorry.
Walk.
Yeah,
Walk
yeah,
on the
yeah.
ground.
Walk
instead of
alongside. Yeah, it like he travels because he is so large. There are moments where you have to fly for a bit to catch up, and then you continue walking. With a 6. Okay. Ness. And I suppose a Q. Make me perception checks, please. 9.
That's a big old 9.
23. Okay. We'll take 23 just because that's the front roll there. There's sand in your eyes, Ness. It's difficult. The heat is bothering you. Akil, however, in one of those moments where you fly to catch back up to Raxamar, you reach a height where you're able to see around you, and in the immediate vicinity, you you are able to perceive eyes kind of focusing in on a particular detail as you see 7 or so black dots out in the sand. You focus even more, and you see that these 7 black dots out in the desert are very large scorpions, like rideable, mountable kind of large as a horse. And these 6 or so scorpions are surrounding what looks to be a dead body, picking away. Oh wait, track moved on. Sorry. Very picking at the dead body, and you watch that also standing amidst them is, you thought it to be another scorpion, but is actually what looks like the bottom half is a scorpion, but on top is a very buff, muscular man, and he is holding a spear.
What the fuck? Are we the mummy now?
There are scorpion centaurs in this desert.
Guys, there's a lot of scorpion over there, and there's some people dying. We need to check over there fast. I'm gonna shout.
But right, this way, right. I don't know if I steer
that-
our
okay,
mobile
is that-
home in the direction that it's pointing.
Yeah, is it in our path, like the way we would be going, or is it like
Not
to the side?
directly. You could like go around, but there is a dead body that is being picked at by 5 or 6 giant scorpions, and then this man scorpion creature that is overlooking them.
Amanda says to Nepeth, I bet IQ is gonna make that scorpion pickle again.
Oh. Yeah, he probably could. Two very different reactions to it.
Funnily enough,
IQ got
with the roll that I made, they don't notice you coming yet because it seems like one of the big sand dunes are in the way. And they just continue picking at this body.
Is that really our business? I don't know if we should engage giant scorpions. Bandits, sure, but
I can go check it out real quick.
Yeah, see if there's like people in trouble down there.
I would like to
Race on over with a motorcycle. No problem. I would like to vroom. Fuck those guys, honestly. Fuck those guys. Yeah.
I have the so you said like canonically I have a I don't know why I keep wanting to call it a spyglass, but
It is a spyglass. Like technically, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Well,
I would like to use that to see.
Of course.
What's...
Since you are using this, make a perception check with advantage.
Okay. Hello, Crump. Hello.
Go, Crump.
Google.
Oh, go Power Ranger.
Perception.
18. You assume, not assume, because it is pretty clear at this point that the body of the man being picked at by these scorpions, were one of those humans that ran away from you last night. A member of the Red Banner Raiders, who is more than likely dead at this point because half of his body are now bones. These scorpions are just digging in, and the man scorpion watching over them. In that moment, there like you are like suddenly shocked as his head turns towards the direction of Raxamar, and almost like in that one of those moments where you're like looking at the spyglass and then you your eyes meet in a non-direct way, turns his head towards that direction, backs off a bit, and like waves his hand, and all the other scorpions skitter and go behind him, and he just stands there and watches.
So funny thing is she's not on Raxamar. She's Borax can't be on Raxamar.
Right. I'll say that he looks up at Raxamar then. He looks up at Raxamar.
Yeah, she's a little spooked. Okay. Well, I think she would just kind of loop around Raxamar to the other side and kind of use him as like a barrier of sorts.
Of course. And they are standing ground. They're not gonna rush this big of a creature, and seems to be standing on guard until you pass by.
yeah, I think we should just go around.
Okay. As Raxamar starts moving, like making a wide berth, like obviously making it clear that you are avoiding him, he avoids you, and as soon as you go far away enough, he like waves his hands and the scorpions skitter back and start chewing at the body again. That's all the significant happenings of today.
Toasty.
I'm gonna wave back at the scorpion. Bye bye.
Yeah. Progressing on into the night of the first day, is there anything anybody would like to accomplish for tonight? I won't call watches because that's redundant, and unless there is something, there are interactions that you want to happen, we won't have to do that every single night.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna do some more herbalism crafting. I think I have a potion, a healing potion to finish up.
All right, yeah.
Oh,
make your roll.
that's a bunch.
Oh wow,
That's
natural 20. Yeah, you are in the zone today. You don't know what it is. It's like probably the lack of trouble today, or just being on Raxamar. There's a lot of free time where you're just kind of leaving him to walk, and you pull out your kit and start like crushing herbs and pouring into distilling into liquids, and yeah, you get a bunch of work done today.
Yep. Does anybody not have a healing potion?
I don't think I do. I don't know.
Okay. Well, you do now.
You do now.
Okay.
Because I managed to finish one.
Yeah. Also, as a reminder, we are using the homebrew rule where you can use a bonus action to drink a potion. To feed it to another person, you have to use your action, but can be a bonus action to drink it on your turn. Just as a reminder. Okay. On the night of the first day, I'm gonna go ahead and make a roll here. The number I rolled was supposed to be another encounter with the Red Banner Raiders, but they're wiped out, so you're clear there. It's like what I wrote here: 1d8 plus 4 Red Banner Raiders. You're good. The night goes by without disturbance, and moving on into the second day.
Yeah,
Has Xavier woken yet?
Xavier is still out.
Yet. I guess just still tending to him then.
There are some crazy things going on in his dream that I'm gonna have to catch up with Roy on. But as for the moment, he looks pretty calm. For the second day, and the travel now, you should arrive at S3 sometime within late evening. Or if you're going to set up camp, then the morning of the next day. Would somebody like to roll me a d6?
I'll take this one. A 3.
3. Another heat wave washes over today's journey. In the middle of the desert, you are now going into an area of intense, scorching, blazing heat, especially so into the middle portion of your travel. Today, it is unbearable. I'm gonna need everybody around the table to make a Constitution saving throw. People wearing metal armor makes one with disadvantage.
Oh.
Oh my god.
15.
That's a 13.
Okay. 8, 13, 8, 22. For Ronax would have been advantage as well, actually, but a 22 does save, so no problems because you are resistant to this kind of environment. Ronax, as usual, pulls out fine, no problem. Even inside the house on top of Raxamar, there comes a time in the day where you're like, you go to open up the window, but then that makes it worse, and then you're just like sweating, and you're like hiding underneath the bed, and it's like an oven. You unfortunately suffer a point of exhaustion. Again. I feel you suffer a point of exhaustion as well, probably due to the fact that you were like walking out and you were exposed to the sun after not being in this intense heat for so long. It was in the past, you would have had no problems with this, but you know, it's like staying indoors for a while and then going out to a very hot area, you're gonna get like a fever. Ness, you actually are fine today. 13 was the exact number for you to succeed, so everybody except Akio and Amabilis, you're fine. You're starting to get used to the heat, and being on top of Rexamar helps. Yeah, a point of exhaustion just means disadvantage on ability checks, that's all. Cool. After a horrifyingly intense wave of heat, I'll ask this question. From looking at the map, you gather that if you pick up the pace and travel at a faster journey all throughout the night, you might risk an extra point of exhaustion, but you will get there faster. Do you want to take your time, or do you want to travel throughout the night to get to S3?
It worked super for us last time.
Yeah. I feel like maybe we should chill this time.
Okay.
We're still waiting for Aiden to come back. Xavier needs more time to rest.
Amabilis is lying face up on top of the platform.
Yeah. They're not doing too well.
Akio is like beside her, like tongue sticking out of his beak.
Periodically, Independence
Dead
dumping
bud.
over the jug and just being like, Salume.
Salume!
We could make Amabilis a little pool.
Fill up the tub!
You
Yeah, I fill up
submerge.
the tub.
You fill up the tub. Amabilis, you
Please don't throw Babbles in the water.
like,
It'll feel better!
it's sort of one of those moments in cartoons where like you submerge something incredibly hot into like a bathtub, and then like steam just So two of you spend some time in the tub. Mablis and Akio, are there any interactions you'd like to make while being incredibly sunburned and in the bath?
Hey, I think that Sark, the red magic guy, is in love with the Sark, like how Xavier is in love with the Pence.
Nepenthes in the room.
if IQ didn't realize that, probably he's like,
Yeah. Xavier is probably laying near the tub.
Oh,
Is it like a really awkward moment where you look at each other, like look at the pen?
Mablis just squints her eyes and look at IQ.
Akil, what did you say?
oh, it's the heat talking. I'm just really how you say it, hallucinating stuff right now. I'm saying.
Catbird energy is always so good.
Okay, do you guys need more water or?
No, thank you. I'm okay.
Yes, please.
Mablis goes closer to IQ. Okay, there's no need to say it so loud. They're both here.
I'm sorry, I cannot think straight right now. The heat is getting to me.
It is, isn't it?
Okay, here's the water jug. I'm gonna go get you guys some food or something. I don't think you guys ate today. And she'll leave.
The door closes, and you both look at each other.
Ew.
Anything else you would like said or done before we move on?
Mablis gives a big sigh. You know, the other night where we talked about this person who was in our group?
Which person?
You know, the person who's gone missing from our group.
I don't remember, I'm sorry.
Well, we saw him. We saw Joel.
The ruin?
Yes. It's quite ironic, isn't it? He was with us in the beginning and he suddenly disappeared. It's like he's trying to tell us something.
Maybe he did tell you something, but it's kind of subtle, probably.
I'm not sure. At first glance, when I saw him, I felt such energy. And he was such a great friend to me. And seeing him like that, being involved with whatever is happening in the world, just... I can't comprehend it.
Well, if I remember correctly, when you saw him, he doesn't have any memories, right?
He doesn't. But I was sure that he made some great memories with us.
Yeah, I think it's better to think that the one you saw in the ruin is the different kind of person, because there's one saying that people are not made for who they are, but they're made from the memories they create and they have.
Was that mean to say that he doesn't remember any of us?
No, I mean that the person who you saw in the ruin is not the same person you befriend with. Because from what I heard, he's a really good guy, I guess. I just heard a little bit about him, so I'm not sure, but I'm sure he's different.
I see many similarities between the both of you.
Really?
Yes.
Well, maybe we could be a good friend. I hope we become a good friend someday.
Aren't we already good friends?
I think it is. You're gonna cry a little.
It's, one of those little cries that we do all the time.
Well, I wish we would be friends forever.
Marvelous smiles. Yeah. You, me, the Panth, Ness, Xavier, Ronex. Just all of us together forever.
Yeah, that's not fucking creepy at all.
Hey, Mabilis, what do you think about Odessa and Sark? I cannot pity them right now. I don't know. I want to help them, but I don't know what to do.
Outside of game, all of this happened in the last session, right?
yes, it absolutely did.
I don't quite.
Do you want me to catch you up?
Yes, please.
So Odessa and Sark were the leaders of the Red Banner Raiders that you fought and killed most of them off last session. Odessa is a psychotic asshole who tried to kill Xavier in front of you. Zark is sort of like a calm, more understandable orc, half orc, that I keep saying full orc, that Ness was talking, no, that Nepenthe was talking to earlier. Yeah, there seems to be some connection between the two of them. Yeah.
Okay. Well, what makes you think that you should help them then?
I did not tell this to anyone. Well, they kind of remind me of something I don't want to remember.
Oh,
You know, it's like looking yourself into yourself in the past. But
well, if that's the case, then you could help them. I don't see anything wrong with that, even though I think they did try to kill our friend. But aside from that, if you do feel that you need to help them, then there are some ways you can compromise with us, of course.
I don't know about Ronax. He is really mad at them.
Yeah, she is not going to take a liking to that. But Ronex is Ronex. You are you and they are them.
Yeah, I think whatever will be, right?
Yeah.
You two enjoy.
And-
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
It's okay, I finished already.
Okay. You two enjoy a calm, relaxing moment in the bathtub, taking off the day's heat and going to bed for the night. Oh my god, amazing timing for the tracks, holy shit. The next day arrives. Looking up ahead of you, maybe 1-2 hours into the morning, there's a like low sort of like dusty, sandy wind that blows past the immediate area. You look further and out. Hi, Golf. I won't require a perception check for this because it's quite easily noticeable. You notice a set of ruins out maybe 200 feet or so. Twice, if not 3 times larger than Arik's shaft. You have arrived at S3.
By the way, where did we? I know that we got the list of names from all of those tablets.
Mm-hmm.
How did we associate Eric Shaft with S1?
Because S1 next to where it said above in the room where Ronax had found, above the sign that said bunker, it said Eric's shaft. So in tandem, the two would have read Eric's shaft bunker. Yeah.
AC.
So let me describe the ruins that you see before you. In this instance, it is a very, very large, tall, like multi-storied, maybe 3 or 4 stories tall, quite thinly shaped set of ruins. It looks almost palace-like in design. There are these spires that come up to each side on the top, coming up to sharp, pointy, like almost Taj Mahal roof kind of situations. You see they're worn by weather, and just the years have been incredibly rough to them. You see one of these towers have fallen over, but it is pretty clear that there is an entrance in front that nothing is covering up or blocking. Also, a very noticeable aspect of this place is that perched up on one of the towers, on the roof, is a massive statue of a dragon. So, Naseambar, what do you do in approaching S3?
We're going the fuck in.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's see here. You dismount off of Raxamar, heading immediately into the front entrance, I assume, of this set of ruins here. Atop the entry, there is one more of those stone plates that presumably has the name of the place written on top of it. Ronax, why don't you make a history check for me? As one of those old draconic text. 8. You're not quite sure what to.
We're gonna add my inspiration to that one.
Okay, yeah, you can re-roll that dice.
Oh.
Mhm.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, this type of inspiration just gives you advantage. It lets you re-roll one roll that you make. 22, much better. Takes you a moment because you are able to sound out the syllables. It's primarily basic draconic here, but you don't know what it means because it seems to be a name. And the name engraved upon the front of these of S3 is Bahamuti.
I was expecting a really complicated name like the last one. So I wrote it down and I was like, wait, that's Bahamut with an I.
Yeah, it is Bahamut with an I. It means something. I used it in my previous campaign.
Bahamut tea, is that like Bahamut flavored water?
It's Bahamut tea. Okay, so all of you are here. Why don't you go ahead and there is a long extending hallway that goes out in front, maybe 60 or 70 or so feet. Why don't you make me a perception check, everybody? Am I able to, do I have a thing prepared?
That was so nearly a natural 20, but it's a 6.
It is. It was probably one of the dice was like almost a natural 20 and then rolled over. Yeah, I get you.
Mhm.
I guess I'll just put this up for now. Okay, you see tiles that are crooked and slanted and like broken in all over the place here in this long hallway that seems to be the entrance corridor that leads inwards about 60 or 70 feet. It is completely pitch black in here. Even those of you with dark vision do not see to the end of this hallway.
I'm gonna blow fire down it.
That's a cool visual. I like that.
It is very cool. Okay. As far as fire travels down the hallway, igniting and lighting up parts of it, you notice scurry off like insects. Are along top of these walls are like spider-like constructs that skitter and into almost rooms that extend out to the right and left.
Oh, as soon as I see like active things, I stop.
You also notice that where the fire sputters and fades, kind of like at the end of that hallway, there's like a very strange bronze golden sphere on the floor.
All right. Since we're going into this place, we don't have Savior who normally does this. I am going to cast Detect Magic.
Okay.
I'm played up for the next 10 minutes.
You close your eyes, and as you open them up, there is like a green that has washed over the white of your eyes, and kind of like an aura expands out 30 feet from you. Nothing within the immediate 30 feet yet.
Yeah. So yeah, next 10 minutes I can see magic stuff.
Why don't we establish a walking order here in chat?
I'm going to go near the front, I think.
Okay.
Given that, and given that's where I normally stand.
I'd be right behind Ness.
Okay, so would somebody awfully mind typing down the order of which we are walking?
Are we bringing Xavier?
Sorry, Discord just went insane there for a second. Can everybody hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna have to leave and come back in. Sorry.
Can we bring Sark? Like,
To be turned into the
There we go.
the government.
Everybody's screen
I
went
see.
green there for me.
Yeah. I wish we could have brought Zarg. Anyway,
No.
I was trying to convince him, but he's very with Odessa, so no half-orc buddy for us.
I'm sad.
I'm gonna try out some tracks here. I'm not sure if they're gonna be like immediate like adventure in these ruins, but let me see if I can get some things here.
This might be incorrect, but I feel like Nepenthe would stay with Xavier. Maybe I'm wrong.
Either she'd stay back with him, or she'd bring him with her.
Just have him on her back.
I'll allow it.
Okay.
Just like fireman over her
Oh.
shoulders, just hanging out. But it depends on what everybody wants to do.
Sorry, excuse me. Let's put, this is a sad track. Let's put this one on.
Yeah.
Okay, if that's your call and you decide to bring Xavier along with you, I'll allow you to strap him to your back.
Okay. I can try a lesser restoration on him if this, given that this has now become a problem.
Okay, are you gonna lesser restoration on Xavier?
Yeah, if it was, I'm taking a wild step in the dark here. But if it was a disease or any kind of madness or blinded, deafened, paralyzed, or poisoned, then it might help.
Okay.
Might be mad.
As you go ahead and like put your hands down on his chest, kind of tree twigs and roots extend outwards from your fingers and make contact with his chest. As you feel a flood of green energy goes into his body, his chest lifts upward, along with a heavy breath that comes out of his mouth. Eyes open. Guys?
Oh, good. Should have done that before, to be honest.
Don't ever do that again.
Sorry, I don't quite remember what's going on. You'll have to fill me in later.
Yeah, come on.
Xavier's awake!
You are
Amanda just
dead
jumps
and
and
you're
hugs
in
him.
heaven right now.
Oh, hey.
Ow.
How long was I out for?
Like 2
3
days.
years.
3 years or 2 days? I'm
2
getting a lot of
days.
mixed messages
I
here.
feel.
Okay. Alright, well... I'll help in whichever way I can, I guess. Thank you, Ness. I appreciate it.
Yeah, it's okay. I was letting you rest, but it went on a little bit, and I thought I'd try a little bit of the tree magic.
Yeah, your tree magic does wonders. He, like, adjusts his mask, pulls the straps tight, and... Let's go.
You know, Nepenthe just said probably not to do that again, but I would very much encourage you to do that again. It was very insightful.
I'll do
Runex.
what comes to me in the moment, and he finger guns towards you. Seamless, I know. Hey, Roy, I know you're watching.
In character, yeah.
Oh, sorry, okay. Sorry,
Alright,
I
let's
had the
dungeon this.
stream on break there for a moment. We're back now. Cool. Alrighty. I suppose this is as you advance further into the ruins, your detect magic starts now pinging and picking stuff up, Ness. It blips, firstly, at the end of the corridor, where that bronze golden sphere lies, glowing a sort of enchantment-based. And lining the wall, as you now are getting closer, you see 3, not 6. That's the wrong number. 3 statues? You're not quite sure. Humanoid-looking constructs, exactly like the ones you saw in the vision. They are rusted over. The like kind of sandstone-esque plates of armor similar to Vorax's design. Humanoid, holding swords and shields, standing almost like the knights in armors that you see in medieval castles. Then 3 of them are back against the wall at the end of the corridor where that metal sphere is. And those 3 also give off magical aura.
Is that more sort of a transmutation by any chance?
Yes, absolutely.
Survival is what you use for traps? I don't remember.
Investigation.
Okay. Oh, yeah, okay, yeah, that'll do it. I'd like to check for traps.
All right.
And I'm proficient in that.
Check.
Yeah, I'm not. That's magic, and those is a different kind of magic. Then I think those is like the walking around kind of magic, and that one is kind of like, say, ooh, I'm going to tell you what to do magic.
You don't find any traps. However, you now do notice the spider-like constructs that were scurrying across the walls start to make their way further into where the sphere and the soldiers are. They will reach them in a moment's time. Do you do anything?
The spidery things, are those magic, or are they?
Absolutely, they are the same kind of transmutation magic as the constructs on the wall and the metal sphere.
Do you think maybe those is like the lookouts?
Yeah. I think they are. Is there a way Vorax can tell them that we're not here to fight?
I was just about to suggest that perhaps it's better that he go first.
Roy!
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 Hey!
Just in time.
That restoration's done wonders.
Yeah. Just in time. I put you out for the majority of this. You're still muted, by the way. And you are back just in time for Xavier to wake up.
I will talk every now and then if I can. I just got out of the car.
Okay.
Assume Xavier is helping Renax with anything she's doing.
All right. The constructs. Sorry, 1 second. The constructs kind of like climb onto the backs of these humanoid statues, you think, and sort of a limb extends out with like a small sparky a tool at the end of it, and it starts going as you see sparks and like knots and bolts being fixed into these metallic constructs, and as one by one their eyes start to come alive, blue. They look at Vorax standing in the center. The 3 of them step down from the raised platforms that they are standing upon. Walks up. You see exposed gears on their chest and backs, winding. Steam emits out from where their jaws would be. Looks at Vorax. Scans. one of them takes a sword and like knocks against the golden sphere on the ground. Clunk, 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 clunk. The sphere like opens up into compartments, and 6 like serrated blades all chunk 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 out from the sphere, and spider-like legs as the sphere also comes activated. Like a compartment opens up where the head is, a singular red dot where the eye would be, and the head spins around 360 degrees and scans the room.
I'll
You know-
try and look friendly.
When I imagine Sifanian technology, this is certainly not what I was imagining. In addition to the fact that I am not particularly interested in becoming Mince Dragon. I hope that we do not have to fight that.
They stare at Vorax. They do nothing.
Why do you think they only did that when we came in here? It was like they certainly remembered how they worked. And said, lean over and say that to Ronix.
I'm so sorry. It was very hard for me to hear you. Could you repeat yourself?
Why do you think they only did that when we got in here? It's like they suddenly remembered how they worked.
Well, magic is magic, and magic has memories, as we've clearly seen.
It's like everywhere we go, we're watering the garden that's been sat here dry in the desert.
The sphere starts walking up through the corridor, its head still scanning around itself. Until a red light that emits off of its eyes comes into contact with the party. It stops. And the arm starts spinning like a blender.
Yeah, that doesn't look good. Do you think maybe it speaks dragon?
Shit. I am going to shout. How much do I know? How much have I progressed with Supernal?
A fair amount, but judging from the language written on the walls, these don't communicate in Supernal.
Okay. I will shout first in Supernal, and when that doesn't work, she'll kind of sputter like and she'll shout friend in Dragonborn. She'll try friend and halt and ally.
Make a roll here. I did not anticipate this.
I'll throw it in comprehend languages and translate for Ronix if needed.
Here's the thing, right? These are constructs. They are machines. While they are capable of understanding the language of their masters, it would seem that these are programmed for a purpose. And that purpose seems to be to guard this place. And so upon the sight of intruders, it would seem that the initial protocol would be a warning at first, as it is doing right now, where its arms are spinning in a blender kind of form of motion as it steps one step closer at a time. It is now 20 feet away from you.
Should we be like not in the air? I'm gonna take my cue from Ronix here.
Stop! Halt! Ally, friend,
10 feet.
I am gonna stand right there with her, like, getting ready to defend her from this thing if I have to.
Go ahead.
she reaches out and pulls out her amulet and starts pumping her artificer magic into it.
Okay, interesting. As you do, your amulet glows a certain. What color does it glow?
It's kind of refracting like rainbow,
Okay,
like
there is
whitish
a
rainbow.
water opal.
Mhm.
In the middle of that amulet, correct? And so it does, almost like a prism, reflects off light from your hands, and it connects with the eye of this creature as it scans, and ends up scanning the crystal. Eye stops. 10 feet from you, 7 feet from you, blades whirring. Retracts. Turns around and walks back.
Oh my good gods! And she like falls to her feet, or her knees.
There.
Vorax
Yeah,
immediately rushes past the thing and up to you.
So they just straight up ignored him.
Yeah.
Okay.
Did you
Also-
figure out what they speak?
No, I don't believe I did.
The designs of these creatures seem, in your eyes, Ronax, you've been with Ronax for a while. Vorax for a while. Vorax seems very, very, like, refined, right? And he is held together not by gear, but by magic. These creatures are gear-based in design. A lot of their functions and armor seem much more dated than Vorax's. I'll give you that much. You recall Archivist Aurelon Kai, like immediately like crouching down at Vorax and saying, "The high Siphanian design." Like those words just kind of ring in your head for a moment.
I think she's just kind of breathing very heavily, looking at Ness, then back at the pendant in her hand. More questions. Still more questions. No answers. I would really like some eventually.
Where did you say you had? Is that the thing that you has had since you was like from like your childhood?
Amulet. I've had it since I was born. As long as I can remember, when I was in the orphanage. It's been with me. My parents always let me have it around. Don't know what it is. Never known what it is. I used it as my focus for the longest time.
Maybe it's from here.
I'm not going to pretend I know anything anymore.
All right. Yeah. I'm going to take a tentative step forward. Good spiders. Nice spiders.
One of the blades come back out. Goes back in. The three other automaton, the humanoid ones, kind of flank behind it as it walks and leads further down the hallway, like a patrol of gods. They are patrolling this hallway. The spiders scurrying about now look and scan you, and scurry into two other rooms.
I don't suppose you speak regular spider. Use my speech of feast and leave this right off.
It very clearly does not understand you.
Yeah, I didn't think so.
So, moving this on, progressing onwards, you now come to a three-way intersection. There is a room on the left, a room on the right, and a heavy, large door. In Skyrim, you've probably come across these the doors that require the claws. You know those?
Yeah.
That are like kind of circular in design.
We just need to catch one of those spiders.
Jam it. There are a variety of patterns and scrawlings on these walls. Some of them imagery, some of them writing. And in the center is the emblem of a dragon. The room on the left is not closed by any doors. Seems to be opens up. And looking inside, there is a large round table, it seems. That's the room on the left. The room on the right has a set of stone doors that are currently closed.
Any magic in the room on the left?
There are magic on both rooms. And
On
the
doors or in the room?
In the rooms, not on the doors.
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay. So, like, in the one that we can look in, is the magic coming from the table or somewhere else?
You see that there are several suits of armors put on display in this room.
Yeah.
You think them to be armors at first, but then you realize that they are probably not just empty armors. You see two very, very large suit of armors, comparably to like a giant in size. These like heavy, rusted titans, it seems. Spikes on their shoulders, the same kind of sandstone plate design. One of them has a hammer for an arm, like heads down, deactivated. The other one has very large fists, with these like extended knuckles on the end. The second one is smaller than the first.
Yeah, there's more things with walking around magic and
As we come to a decision here on where to go, Lara has to step out for a little bit, so we're gonna go on break for 5 minutes. And
Good,
we'll
I need more water.
Yeah, continuing on the second part of the session without Lara. So everybody say bye-bye.
Hi, thanks guys.
Hey, Lara.
Bye, Laura.
Bye-bye.
We will look after the small cat.
Yeah, get well soon, okay?
Yes.
Yep.
Get well soon.
Okie dokie, let's go on break. We'll be back in 5 minutes.
Okay.
If I'm honest, I don't really have a name. The elves call me Ness or Nay, or Sapling in your woods. Ness is fine, because it's a lot of words otherwise. We didn't really need names in the tribe, other than Marlo for friend, or Amal for mother. The last thing I remember of my mother was her pressing this into my hand and pushing me into the river. I didn't really realise it at the time, but she was saving 2 lives. The river carried me away and kept me safe, me and the thing in my hand. All I knew was the river, the moonlight, and the screams. And when I got home again, all I saw was black ash and rot. I knew why she did it. I wasn't supposed to have this. Anna was meant to be the next Amal. Maybe she'd have known what to do with the seed of a tree that's older than my mother's mother's mother. And the thing I carry, I know it's a person, though I don't know her name, and I've never seen her face. I know she relies on me. I think I'm the only one left. So we have each other, and since I met Xavier in the Penth in the place where the elves sing stones into buildings in the sky, I have the Nosse Ambar too. So now I'm a leaf that's blown on the wind. I go where she calls, and wherever I settle, or fall, maybe something will grow.
Oh, you're still alive? Good for you. From birth, I was sculpted into the perfect vessel for the reincarnation of the Raven Queen. This was the destiny that my parents had chosen for me. However, as a big supporter of free will, I ran. I ran and ran for a long, long time. Her creatures pursued me at every stop. Every moment I took to breathe, they took to sink their claws deeper in my back. When I decided to stop running, when I killed the shadows that followed me, I received these tattoos as a brand. They are my story, my life, and her special little way of saying see you soon. It's not all bad though. I get to hear music again. I've sailed on the ocean. I met some good people, a new family, new friends. I have new purpose, people that I need to protect. I feel alive again. I've been called monster. I've been called demon. More recently, Memento Mori. I have no qualms with monster. And if you think me a demon, trust me when I say that, to save the people I love, I would go to the depths of hell. My name is Nepenthe Erdu. Destiny is what we make of it.
Dear Miss Ronax Melodies, please provide the following information via the sending stone that we have provided. When doing so, please be sure to note out all the contents of this letter so that the record can be played back with the utmost accuracy. Thank you. Sincerely, St. Claudius Graduate Association. Full name: Ronax Linverno Melodies. Age: I am 23 years old and was adopted by Olam and Lena Melodies. Garb that you will be attending your graduation in: elegant leathers and a full corset atop a simple white blouse, presenting some of the fine craftsmanship of Desalia, along with custom-made shoes and a coat that has been passed down in my family for the last 6 generations. Height and weight, so that you may be fitted for cap and gown. Oh, goodness. 6'4", and 220 pounds. A brief description of the invention you shall be presenting at the time of your graduation. A handheld Magitech-like cannon device that will send projectiles of varying potency out in a rapid manner that will hopefully aid in incapacitating those who would be hostile to our legion. A brief description of who will be sponsoring your graduation. My teacher, Provost Ligarius Hippolytus, Master of Arcane Technology. Something of note you have done for your country pre-graduation. I intend to be delivering a parcel for one Ligarius Hippolytus to the capital of Ryfield. Future goals you intend to do with your diploma once you receive it, outside of work. I intend to create inventions that will allow our military to be able to better protect and serve the great country of Desalia, without the immediate aid of our legion in the front lines, thus allowing for the increased security for the outskirts of our homeland. I also intend to study further on and make use of the learning opportunities I have been given here to research the leading theory of realm shatter, and perhaps learn why it occurred and how we might best prevent such a catastrophic event in the future. Learning one's past is how we may best prevent the same from happening to our present. Occupation, post-graduation, and how it can bring pride to Thessalia. My occupation will be an official battlesmith artificer of Provost Ligurius Hippolytos. Directly under him, I hope to make the inventions of our great homeland known to all, far and wide, and perhaps improve the lives of many by bringing safety and happiness to less privileged countries with our technological prowess. Thus concludes my official graduate application form. If there is anything at all I have missed, please feel free to contact me. Ronax Linverno, Melodies. Thank you.
I, a Mabulus Whitepool, accept your condition of training in the hands of our respected clan mother. Charlotte, please treat me well and provide me your utmost knowledge to further assist and help me improve the lives of feelers and gnomes of Cerasol Dukedom. Grazie. All my life, I've lived through the expectations of my family and people without having an ounce of my own. But today, I am not going to. I've learned a lot throughout the years, discovered what's unreal. I will fight. I will fight for whatever that will make it right. Just as Rowanberry said, if you fear for what's to come, you regret the days that you did not accomplish whatever one wants. I believe that one day I will find him and bring back justice to my people.
For as long as I can remember, I've known nothing but the inside walls of the elven estate that's made up my prison. Stuck within my tower, I watched the stars, read my books, and dreamt of the world that I had heard so much about. Living as the son of an arrogant elven aristocrat intent upon restoring himself to some former glory, the standards and expectations set upon me from my earliest memories have been all but impossible to meet. Still, day after day, year after year, for only the gods know how long, I've spent my time seeking perfection in my father's name. Following the path of the Bladesingers, an ancient manipulation of magics known only to the elves, my training started before I could even walk. Beneath the master swordsman Corvain Haranel, I learned how to take a beating. After a while, I learned how to stop one. Every time he knocked me down, I'd get back up. For what? I didn't know until the day a letter arrived at my windowsill. The key to the shackles of my monotonous life. Since the day of my escape, I have finally known what it means to live, and I have no intention of giving that up.
What happened? What happened?
Just read chat and you'll find out.
Read the chat.
Oh. I'm never speaking again. No, Kim! I would never! Please!
God, okay. Let us continue.
Just start the session. Please just restart the session.
Okay. Alrighty, so let me recap real quick what you see before you. On the left room, it is an open sort of hall. There is a round table in the center. 2 suits. There's actually close to 5, but detect magic is only picking up on 2 of them in the room, which seems to still be activated, but are off at the moment, for lack of better terms. That's the left room. The right room is currently closed by sandstone doors. On the inside, you pick up 5 glows of enchantments. Okay. Smaller glows.
On looking into the left room, do we see more rooms or doors or whatever beyond that, or is it just
no? It's just a big room.
All right.
Hi, Roy. We're never gonna get past this. Tell Kim we're like here laughing our asses off.
Please.
It's just going to be one of those party in jokes where nobody's ever going to be able to talk about whales with a straight face.
Yeah.
And none of you watching on stream will ever know why.
Yeah. This all happened on break.
Continue, Ratty. We'll dissolve.
Okay, there are 5 smaller enchantment glows in the left room. It's being closed by sandstone doors. You don't know if it's locked or not. You can try them. And then in front of you directly is this circular stone door with like runes and glyphs on them. On it. Sorry.
Should we open that one? Points to the door on the right and see what's not in there.
Couldn't hurt.
Yeah, you want me just to give it a big push?
Well, is it a pull door or?
No, that was a question.
Make a Constitution saving throw. No,
I, the player, I'm hoping someone stops me.
Well, I actually have a bit of a method to this madness that we're in, if you'd like to allow me to try it.
Yeah, that's probably, yeah. I'll just, you do your thing, and I'll stand next to you, and if anything tries to hit you, I'll hit it back.
Whenever my teacher and I would have difficulty deciding what to do, this is what we would do. And now I beg of you, please do not laugh at me. I've almost nearly died today. But, and she walks forward, and then she puts a compass down, and the compass is open face.
Mm-hmm.
And she closes her eyes without looking at it, and she spins it around, and then she also starts to spin around. And wherever, after a few moments, she stops, and she is very wobbly. Oh goodness. All right, let's see. And she looks down at the compass, obviously not knowing which direction it's going to point.
Mm-hmm.
And picks whichever.
Do you want to roll for it?
Yeah.
I'll let you roll a d4.
Roll a d4.
1 is it points back where you came. 2 is left. 3 is right. 4 is straight ahead. So this might end up being very helpful or staggeringly unhelpful. 2 on the right.
I suppose we go this direction, and hope that we don't meet whirling blades of death again.
And this is scientific.
No, not at all. No.
All right.
Provost.
For,
Lorei'an.
for about 30 seconds there, Ness fully thought that was a magic compass.
And she thinks that the compass out of the garage.
Alright. So, the sandstone doors, they are just a little higher than human size, maybe 8 feet top to bottom. They are double doors. Like a good, you're not sure if like it's a push or a pull situation. You can try.
You want me to push the big door?
I am going to tentatively put my amulet up to the door. See what happens.
Nothing happens here in this instance. You see that there are notches on the door.
She like takes the amulet, puts it back up, takes it away, puts it back up again, and then like looks at Xavier and Nepenthe. Well, it doesn't appear to be working with everything. I don't understand anything anymore.
All right.
Okay.
All right. I'm gonna look at the notches
You
on the
recognize the
door.
notches? Yeah.
I am just gonna put a big hand out and push.
You push. Make an athletics check.
Right.
This could be very funny or
7.
So it does not budge.
I'm not trying very hard.
Yeah. You go.
Yeah. It's
Yeah, I
physically
want to look at the notches.
Certainly. They seem to be. How would I describe this? I have an image in my head. So almost half spheres that are dented inwards, and there is a vertical pole within the center of this half sphere. Almost like an eye in the middle of an O.
Okay, so
How
it's
many
like
of those
a
are?
bar.
Yes, absolutely. There are 2 of those. One on each door.
Okay, then I
yeah.
pull.
You pull, make an athletics check.
I'm gonna help.
With advantage.
Okay.
Yes. This could be hilarious.
23.
You and you pull with so much strength that the bars like come off and with your hands.
I don't think it goes that way.
Was that supposed to happen?
Anyway, somebody
No.
smarter come look at this.
Can I use Thief to analyze the mechanism of the door?
You wouldn't need to use thieves' tools for this, but you can make an investigation check if you'd like.
I would like to assist.
Of course. You can both make one, or you can make one with advantage. Up to you.
What are these door handles they took made of?
Like bronze, gold, and sandstone.
I got a 9.
9.
Oh.
I got a 7.
Doors, the true enemies of D&D. You see that there are gears on the door, exposed gears. You're not quite sure how they function or how to open this door. However, it does not, from what you've experienced, it does not open inwards through pushing, nor does it open outwards through pulling.
I'm going to try a revolutionary idea.
Okay.
And I'm going to. So they got pulled off. Do they look broken? The handles?
Yeah. Only the handles
I'm
are broken
sorry.
off though. The indented half sphere is still on the door.
I'm going to try and turn it.
Without much issue, you go ahead and put 2 hands up on the half spheres. You turn them towards each other at first, and then it gets stuck, and you try the other way. And like almost without difficulty at all, it goes, and the door emits steam, and the gears start turning and opens up sideways.
You know, that door is clever.
And Nepenthe's
No.
busy fitting them in her pack to try to.
You know, I've never seen a door that's not a push or a pull.
Yeah, you and me
It's really-
both.
That's smarty dust there.
As the door opens up, the room lights up this kind of incandescent blue. As let me check the exact number here to know that I'm not mistaken. Right at the very bottom here. 4 display cases light up. There are items in each of these 4 display cases. They are made of glass? No, actually, they seem to be encased in this blue light. There doesn't seem to be any glass among it. The light kind of flickers. The item rests in the center. You look to your right. Also, you notice that these are the 4 glows that your detect magic was picking up. There is a 5th glow behind the display cases, which you now come to realize is almost like a turret device. Currently unactivated at the moment.
Oh, lovely.
Do the display cases all have the same? All have identical things in there?
No.
And what are
You can make a perception check if you'd like. Not incredibly high DC.
all right then.
And I help.
Of course, you can each make one on estimate.
15.
Yeah, you can each make one. 15. And 22.
22.
So, unless you're able to make out some of these, you see that there is, first of all, a sword, a long sword, it seems, that is levitating atop this display case. The blades are jagged and serrated. It comes to this pointy tip. It has a red sphere embedded in the center of it. Next to it is, similarly levitated and held in place, is a mechanical iron arm. Next to that still is what seems to be the hilt of a weapon. You're not quite sure what hilt it is. It's relatively small. It seems to be the handle of a weapon. And on the last one are 5 vials, it seems. And these glass vials are sparking with electricity.
Yeah. So the old things in the cases is like magical, and yeah, that big pipe is as well.
The big pipe in the center of the room, no, at the very back of the room, seems to be deactivated for the moment. You see with the 22 Akil that there is a seat on the back of this turret device, and seems to need a person to operate.
Oh, please, can we put that on Vorax?
It is about the same size as Vorax, but the cannon seems to be able to be... the cannon itself seems to be able to be taken off.
Interesting.
Do you say that out loud, or is that like an out of character thing?
Oh, sorry, that's out of character.
Oh.
Nepenthe is eyeing it warily.
It's sort of like fixated on a dais that seems to be able to like rotate.
I would like to see. I don't know if this overlaps with detect magic at all. Please let me know if it does. What does the structure of the room look like? Does it look like just clean sandstone, or does it look like there are pathways for things on the wall?
This room in particular is there are no other pathways extended from it. It is a room that is self-contained.
No, I'm so sorry. I mean, like, etchings on the walls.
Oh,
Are
etchings
there
on the
any
walls.
Etchings.
Absolutely. There is a sign on sandstone at the very back above the turret device that in Draconic, Old Draconic, you are able to make out the word weapon. It could be some derivative or variation of the word weapon. It could be weaponry, or it could be weapons or weapon devices or something like that.
I would like to I'd like to see if I can make a check to see if I can manipulate any of the magical mechanisms holding up these things.
The items on display.
Yeah.
Make an investigation check. Straight roll. $17. You walk up. At first, what you assume to be a smooth cylinder shaped display, there is actually in front a small, almost keyhole shaped insert. Here's the strange thing, though. It's not in the shape of a key. It's just a singular hole in kind of like the center compartment of this display case.
How large is it?
Maybe about the size of a finger.
I guess I'll put my finger in it.
You put your finger in the hole. Nothing happens.
I'm gonna try and pump some artificer magic into it.
You try and channel magic through this keyhole itself, for lack of a better term. The light that is currently encasing the display flickers and glows brighter for a moment and returns to the previous brightness.
Are there any seams on this panel?
There are. It seems to be like two panels connected together by the center.
I'd like to take my tools and see if I can open it.
Okay, what tools do you use for this?
Probably my Tinker's tools.
Certainly. You can go and make a Tinker's Tools check.
Can I help?
13. Rolls already been made, unfortunately. But with these are very tight seams, and you're trying to get into like them with sort of like a welder device. You're trying to jam into it with one of your tools. It just doesn't seem to budge, and even if it does, it's a much larger and stronger material than to be able to be pried apart with. You can make just to make a general intelligence check for me, Ronax, because the answer technically has already been shown to you. It's just, are you able to piece it together?
Well, see, I didn't want to try that again.
16. You remember when the constructs were activated in the hall? The spiders, the limb that extended out had sort of like a black sparking tip to it that it stuck into the machines and it became activated.
Are there any of those spiders around the room?
There is currently one that is scurrying on the inside of like the right hand corner of the room.
Amabilis,
Yes, Ronax?
would you mind? I'm so sorry. Would you mind terribly going and catching that construct right there?
But that thing is as big as me.
I'll be with you.
You didn't tell me how large they were. I
It's-
thought that they were small.
No, they're quite large.
Yeah, we'll go try to catch this thing.
Sorry, I need to
I'll
leave and
help.
enter Discord again. Everyone went green. There we go.
I will help.
Okay, in attempting to catch this spider, whoever wants to try can make an athletics check contested with this creature. It doesn't have a very high bonus. In fact, it has a negative bonus. So all you have to do, I'm gonna make a roll here. All you have to do is roll above a 13 athletics to be able to grapple and catch this this creature.
Everybody roll from that one.
Yeah, we got it.
As it scurries across the right hand side of the room, the pen immediately rushes up and with her forearm grabs onto one of it. The legs wildly like.
All right, which one of these limbs did you need?
The one in the middle.
Yeah, got it.
It's curled up there. Oh, do be careful with it.
There's more down the hall.
It's
Go on, buddy.
ancient technology.
Yeah, so is Vorax, and you take him into battle.
He's different.
Okay, come on, little guy. Do the thing.
Hold him up to the display case.
Yeah.
Seems a little perturbed at the moment as you see the limb sticks out, and like the black tip of the limb like tries to find purchase within the keyhole until eventually locks into it, and as these seams spark up with blue. Which display are you unlocking first?
I would do
Lightning
the one
bottle,
with the
arm, sword, hilt.
hilt.
The lasers lights come down, and so does the hilt of whatever weapon this is also falls cling, 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 to the floor, to the surface of the display.
I would try and catch it before it fell.
Okay, grab it in your hands. Seems to be an empty hilt of a weapon. There is no blade, just the hilt.
I'm gonna give our little spider friend an affectionate pet. Because he did the right thing.
And like the tip fucking sparks with electricity, like it tries to sting you with it. It cannot.
I think we'll just move around and unlock the other ones too.
Okie dokie. We'll just say for the purpose of brevity, one by one you go and unlock these display cases, and the light comes down. All the items are available to you.
I look at the mechanical arm and go, where do you think the rest of it is?
The rest of what?
Bit concerned about the aspect of what you just said, Ness. Does it look like it was ripped off of something? Right.
Sorry, was that question?
I hand over the mechanical arm for Rolex and take a proper look at.
Oh, sorry. I thought that the question was directed towards Ness. Could you re-ask that question?
I said, does this mechanical arm look like it was ripped off of something?
No. It seems to be sort of like an outer casing almost. You can make an investigation check for further inspection if you'd like.
Yeah.
It's a giant
Anyone thinks we can drink these 5 bottles of
Lightning.
electricity?
Do not open that, and do not drink it.
18. You know that where the wrists are? There is a small notch. You go ahead and pull, and the hand itself extends from the wrist with a rope. And you let go, and the hand attaches itself back onto the wrist.
It's a bit odd. Does it look like? Does it actually look like something that I can put on? Because you just said it was a mechanical arm, so I just assumed that it was like a whole thing and not like a glove.
Seems to be something you can put on.
I look in the pen, hold my arm up, and then put it on.
The clasps on the sides open up. As it does, encases itself onto your hand, and you feel like some sort of liquid start rushing up from the glove and onto the palm of your hands itself.
Oh, fuck.
You feel something change, you're not sure, because the hand itself is still encased in the glove. However, the structure within it seems to have changed magically somehow. And you watch Ronax move her hand, and there is almost like a mechanical whirring to the wrist.
Oh, goodness, that's strange. Oh, goodness. Oh, why is it wet? Oh.
Can you take it off?
Oh, I probably should have considered that before I put it on. She's gonna try and take it off.
You know your way well enough around magic items to know that it is an off switch. You press on the button. There's steam exhaust that comes out, and you feel that same liquidy feeling on your hand again. And it opens up. Your hand is normal.
Here, you hold this. Let me try that.
Here, yes.
I hand her the spider that's like frantically shaking. Hold this. And I'll put the glove on.
Same sort of like, it's almost like your hand turns to liquid in the moment, where it sort of like melts away, and for like a brief second you feel like your hand isn't there anymore, but you move your fingers and the mechanical fingers on the arm moves.
Definitely
Okay.
not here for that one.
Because earlier the fist like came off attached to a rope, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'm gonna take out one of the door handles from my bag.
Okay.
And just give it a toss out in front of me, and I'm gonna try to throw my hand forward to engage the rope and catch it.
Okay. You try and throw your hand out at it. The hand itself seems to, with like magical arcane jets at the end of it, propulse itself like a grappling hook outwards from, and you're like, for a moment you panic because it feels like your wrist has detached from your arm, but you can still feel each finger. And as it does, it grabs onto the door handle and comes back to your hand.
Wow.
Oh, that's
Wow.
nice.
You dare not hear it.
Not even a little.
It looks so scary.
This is an arcane propulsion arm. To be able to use this properly, it will require attunement, but that's
It's-
basically what it does.
It is literally go gadget arms.
Yeah. Actually, I'm on the verge here to say that this won't require attunement, because attunement slots eat up a lot, right? And you can use this for a weapon attack. It will count as an unarmed attack and has a range of 20 feet. But and you can also use it to climb up stuff. So I am inclined to say we're gonna change it, Eberron, and say that it doesn't require attunement.
I'm seeing it more as very much like a get over here sort of
Exactly,
thing.
yeah. You can definitely use that to do that. The item actually says it replaces an appendage. So I had to come up with a cool way to do that somehow, as in like your hand turns to liquid and it like goes into the seams of the arm itself.
Ooh, let's play with more stuff.
Throwing weapons.
Okie dokie. Which one are we checking out next?
Ness has
Can I
opened that
have
one
the
of
heal?
what?
Okay. You're opening
This
up one of
first,
the bottle of lightning.
I'm opening one of the vials of electricity and sniffing it.
Oh. Make a dexterity saving throw.
Oh,
Yes.
no.
I know, Nepend already
Should-
scolded Akil, but is too stuck on this new glove to
You
notice
shouldn't
Ness doing
should
it.
not leave Ness unsupervised. That's a 13.
13 just fails. You take 12 points of lightning damage.
Oof.
Oh, that's a lot.
A lightning bolt-esque beam of lightning sparks out of the bottle as you uncork it, and it singes your face as Ness turns back around. His face is like darkened and his hair is like singed and like pointy.
I tried to really subtly put the cap back on.
Okay, have we all learned our lesson? Not opening the vials?
There are 4 left of these bottles.
Why Ness can't open it, but I can? That's not fair.
I didn't want him to.
But can I try the hilt?
Yeah, of course. The hilt is with in Ronax's hands at this point. You can ask for that if you want.
Here you go.
Thank you. I'm going to try to swing it.
You swing an empty hilt. It's probably more
Just
to this.
gonna use a bit of lay on hands.
I actually rolled max damage on that, so
Ronex, how do you use this?
I suppose I will investigate it.
yeah, make an investigation check. This is a room of toys where you hear.
If this hilt is what I think it is,
Please don't be
that
sure.
I
would
have a theory.
Oh,
There's a button on the side of this hilt.
Well, just press this button right here, and she kind of like grabs his feathers, hands, fingers, and like presses down on the button with him.
A beam of orange light sparks out from the hilt of this weapon. No, this is not a lightsaber, it's a sunblade.
it's a lightsaber.
Oh, that's a real thing.
It is a real thing in D&D.
Yep.
It is basically a lightsaber, though. Like seems to be intense heat that is gathered at the blade that forms out of this hilt is considered to be a sunblade. Now, this one will actually require attunement because it's very powerful.
oh wow! It's a sword. I never knew it. What?
The sunblade is so cool.
Mm-hmm.
Akil is just disinterested in the sword. It's like, oh, he's seen so much sword right now. Just like, it is just another sword.
I want to know what Xavier is feeling like, having just spent ages training in short swords.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. I wanna check out the other one, the other sword.
Okay. This one. The serrated blades on this weapon almost like streak outwards like a Christmas tree. You pick it up and you start swinging. There seems to be joints on this weapon where each of the serrated blades are.
Okay.
You really just put the basic Monster Hunter sword in our game.
No.
Okay, it's like... So it looks like there's almost like lines or like joints in between each one of these.
Yeah.
I guess I'll do the same thing with the door handle.
You-
So I'll try to throw it again and I don't know, like, stab at it or something.
You throw the door handle up. You kind of like feel around on the blade for a little bit. As you like swing it outwards, there is a soft red glow. that runs up the blade of the weapon, and the each joint of the blade almost detaches. That you see now there's a wire running through the middle, and the blade extends outwards by 10 feet as it turns into like a whip sort of situation, and the blade it's a chain blade basically. As it goes shing and slices the door handle in half, and it comes back in on itself.
Oh, these people had it right.
This one will
It makes
also
me
require
wonder.
attunement.
It makes me wonder if these were during the Realm Shatter, if these were made during the Realm Shatter, or if these were made before. What kind of world that it was that these people lived in to require such monstrous weapons.
Well, I don't know if it was monstrous so much as advanced. I mean, this is beyond anything I've seen. This is brilliant. I mean, my hand just melted into this glove.
And my sword is a glow stick.
My sword is a glow stick.
Alright, that's it, guys. Session's over. My sword is a glow stick.
Does anyone want one of these little thunderstorms?
Yeah, you don't get to hold those anymore. Ronax, why don't you?
So to give
Can I-
you
Oh, yes, of course.
the name of all these again, they are 4 bottles of lightning, an arcane propulsion arm, a sun blade, and a serrated Siphanian blade.
Akil,
Yes.
do you mind if I take a hold of that blade?
Oh, of course. It's our part. It's your guys anyway. I give her the key. The key.
She takes the sword and kind of slices once and twice in the air and observes it for a bit. How big is it?
Let me double check for you actually. I want to know if this requires attunement, and it is a long sword and it requires attunement.
Oh, it's a long sword? Okay. I'm gonna give it back to Akil.
Oh, actually, but it says if you are proficient with short swords or long swords, you are proficient with the sunblade.
Oh.
Oh.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Simple weapons?
It is a
No.
martial weapon.
We could
Can I have it?
give it to our. We could give it to our Kensei, or we could give it to our blade singer.
I suppose that will be up to discussion during.
Yeah. Also,
yeah.
aren't we supposed to turn these all back into like also?
Wait,
Well-
are we supposed to keep it? We are not supposed to keep it. This is an artifact, you know. Wait,
These are precious artifacts.
You belong in a museum.
Indeed.
it belongs to a museum.
They're
Yeah, but I mean, while we're not at a museum, I don't see why we shouldn't be able to figure out how they work.
I have a weird question.
Mhm.
I'd like to date these items.
Okay, make a history check.
Okay.
Wow.
Can I make it
I
with
Yeah,
a
need
well,
to
date?
if
end
you
the
ask-
dinner first.
Yeah.
With advantage. I'll ask you this: were your studies like specifically honed in on the Kingdom of Sith at all, or would that have been like after Vorax kind of thing?
Oh, definitely. She would have like focused in on it before she ever found Lorei'an.
I'll allow it. Make one with advantage.
Histermony.
13. Trying to date these. The Sunblade you've seen, like rarely, but it's a very very rare item. But they are in use today, and you've heard tales of people who use like glowing swords of pure fire and light. The bottles of lightning seems like a relatively simple enchantment. The arcane propulsion armor, the technology of which it changes the structure of your hand into a liquid while wielding it, never heard of before. And the serrated Siphanian blade, the Shane blade design, also never seen anywhere before. If you had to date them, the arm probably came later than the sword.
Okay.
Yeah. You're not sure if it's pre-Realm Shatter territory or after.
Well, either way, we need to take care of these items. They're precious. Well, maybe not so much the bottles of lightning, but the rest of them, they are quite precious.
Nepenthe, you holding on to the spider?
I gave it to Ronax.
Ronax, are you holding on to the spider?
Oh, yeah.
Make an athletics check. You have to beat a 5. So no.
Okay, let's go.
Come on.
Oh,
There's a like a sudden jolt of movement as it tries to get out of your hand, but you hold on tight.
Just stay still. I know it's uncomfortable. It's fine. It's fine.
You see Vorax walks up and like breathes heavily on it, like, and it goes and just powers down.
There is, of course, the issue of we can clear these out and take everything inside, but chances are all those smart people are probably still going to want to come here, and the whole giant many-knifed thing at the door isn't really going to have fun with that. Well, it might, but they won't.
We do need to power it down, but that would leave this place defenseless.
I'm not saying I want it to be defenseless. I'm just saying I don't know what to do.
If we could learn more how to control it, if I could just figure out how to control it, then we might be able to issue it different commands, or perhaps one of us could accompany them, or we could set up some sort of password to get it to not murder them.
How much time do you think you'd need to figure that out?
She's kind of like looks away from you and just sort of her eyes are, have this look of like, whoa.
You're smart.
A few hours?
Alright, then, if this room is done, I mean, there's the giant gun in the back, but if this room is done, I say we look in the left and then give you those hours. I don't want to go any further and possibly run into something more deadly without you knowing how to take care of it.
That is agreeable. Yes.
In the effort of honesty, I also want to play with this sword, but but the thing for you is important too.
I should clarify. The sword is larger than an average longsword. It could be classified as a great sword. The serrated blade.
Okay. All right. Do you want to look at that turret? By the way, I mean, you do little guns, so big gun.
I would be lying if I didn't say that I was very interested.
Do you walk
And
up to
If I
it?
get depleted with a sword, you get to look at a giant gun. I just feel like that's fair.
You see Ronax, she kind of wiggles a little bit back and forth, like, yeah. And then walks up to the turret. I'm gonna when I'm walking up, I'm gonna be checking for traps. By the
Make
way,
an
just something
investigation
that'll
check.
turn it on. It's something that'll accidentally turn it on.
Just like destroys every single thing in front of it. 18. Doesn't seem to be any traps. In fact, with an 18, I'll say you conduct a thorough investigation of the turret. It, as said, seems to be connected to a dais that is able to rotate 360 degrees. This seems to be an example that has been put up of one of these arcane turret weapons that was of use in the Kingdom of Sith. There is a seat mounted on the back of it. The seat is not, however, attached to the turret, but to the dais itself. Therefore, the turret, you feel, can be dismounted and taken off and probably attached onto something else. The turret, I will say, is about half the size and diameter of a typical ship cannon. And you see that it has a small operating panel on the bottom of the barrel itself. That has two buttons on it, a red button and a green button. And beneath that, in the center, is a small, similarly finger-sized hole.
Nepenthe, do you want a big gun on your ship?
Oh, I'd love a big gun on my ship.
Does it look like we could take this thing out of here?
With some work, yeah.
Well,
You
We
probably
can always leave it here and come back.
You probably pieced it together by this point that the spider robots are the main engineering workforce of this place. Not only are they like the engineers and they fix things, but they also activate things and deactivate things. And so those spiders are key here.
So
We're definitely gonna have to reprogram one.
The spider in my hands is like the size of a very large dinner plate.
Yes.
Okay. I would like to look for its on and off.
You do not find an on and off. We'll just go off of the 18 you wrote just for convenience sake. But you do find a similarly to the sphere, where its head compartment opened up. There is you see seams where sort of like on the top of its head seems to be a compartment that's able to be opened up.
I'm gonna try and open it.
Okay. Doesn't require too much work. You eventually get the head compartment off of it. It wriggles violently in your hand as you see in the center of its head opened up is a similarly shaped opal, water opal crystal that has sparks of electricity like running through it. The same one as your amulet.
I'm gonna pull my amulet off and see if it resonates with the crystal in it.
It does. There are small clockwork gears that turn in response to the water opal being held up to it.
going to issue a command to it while it's resonating.
Okay, what do you say?
Aid
Doesn't seem to be a change.
in Draconic.
Mm-hmm.
No change?
No change. You figured you've stumbled onto something here. This is something that you'll likely have to spend some time with. God, oh no. This is something that you'll probably have to spend some time with and study. It's not something that will happen like with the flick of a finger.
End me.
As with life,
Okay.
all answers are hard. It will do some work, but you'll get there.
Okay. Well, I'll take some time to investigate this thing.
Okay. We'll say you do stumble upon the process of deactivating it. Detaching the crystal from the creature itself seems to power it down. You're probably gonna have to do something with the detached water opal before putting it back inside the spider, is what you gather. So we'll say if you want to do some magical tinkering here, you can spend maybe 15 minutes, 20 minutes in game, up to half an hour, depending on your tinker check roll, to see if you can magically reprogram it to do what you want. 13, we'll say takes you 20 minutes.
Okie dokie.
Okay. While this is going on, would anybody else like to be doing something else? Anything else?
I think we could probably go start looking in the left room. I'm sorry, Joe, what were you gonna say?
Yeah, well, this is just standing around twiddling his thumbs, so we will definitely join you in that.
Yeah, we're gonna go check out the left room while Renex fiddles.
After about 10 minutes or so, the hair that is like currently standing puffed up on your face do like to come back down. You have singed fur on your cheeks and mouth and like forehead.
Furry mouth.
Okay, which room are you going to?
The left one. It had the door that was open and like the giant
Of course.
automatons.
The
Yes,
two. Go ahead.
Oh, yeah, last time I looked in here, the thing with the big hammer through her hand and everything, they had like walking around magic on, so we should like steer clear of them, I think.
I'm actually going to go ahead and call a stealth check here if you're trying to be careful around these big boys.
Uh-oh.
Oh no.
The two least stealthy people.
No, don't worry. I've got this. This will go great.
This will go great. An 8.
It's an 8. Don't have disadvantage anymore.
Yeah.
Still have a +3. Actually, not that bad itself, but still.
23 for a kill. As you try to carefully make your way into this room, trying not to disrupt any of the processes that may end up triggering one of these things, you make your way in seemingly without any major issue. You come across the stone round table. There are pieces of paper on it. And you go ahead and use your hand to like sort of run down over the table. You notice that there are engravings on the table itself. It's currently being covered up by some paper.
I'll move the paper.
Yeah, I'll pick up a bit. Pick up a piece of paper. Is there anything interesting written on this?
It's damp ink.
Damp?
That would be
As
incorrect to call. That it's very aged paper that's made it so that the ink is no longer readable. They seem to be reports.
Okay.
Written in Draconic. However, the table, the round
I think I've got the
table-
gist of this. But someone else should probably study it to make sure that they get all the details.
The round table You see etching and like scrawlings of things that seem to have been carved onto the table, not too beautifully, but they did good enough of a job for it to make sense. This is an old Draconic, so you're probably gonna have to get Ronax into a room to read this. However, piecing it together seems to be a map.
Interesting. Is it a recognizable map?
Does Ness have good memory?
I have good memories.
I've got good memory for pictures, just not words.
Then I'll say I won't need a roll for this. But the names on these maps do perfectly line up with S1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 question mark.
Oh, that's interesting.
You can't read them though.
Yeah, I'm sure that says something that would be really useful.
Yeah, we'll get Ronax in here after this.
Yeah.
As the two of you are busy focusing on the stone table, the ruffling of paper and all of the noise made in this room, even though Akio is being as stealthy as possible, there are still two people who do not make the check. I will roll stealth check for Xavier. And we'll base whatever happens off of his stealth roll, okay?
Oh, you confounded thing! Will you just do what I say?
Just shouting from the other room.
We found some interesting stuff that, we tried to read it.
It's an 8.
How tall is the table?
Normal table sized.
Okay, actually, you cannot see anything.
Like trying to tiptoe. You hear an exhaust of steam go off from behind you. And as you turn back, and the two very large constructs, their gears start turning. And they step off their plates.
Oh yeah, that's trouble.
I'm gonna need all of you to roll initiative.
Is there a problem? Are there more whirling blades of death? Oh.
We made a mistake.
So why don't you go ahead and put your tokens down here, and we're gonna go and roll initiative and finish the session off for tonight.
Where would we be?
Well, I got a 2 on initiative! I get to go last again! Yay!
It does make sense thematically because you are in the other room, but it does suck.
It sucks. I'm so sorry that happened.
He was in the right room, so we're in the left one over here.
I'll put Amalis down. And I'll put Xavier down.
Yeah, where's the? Is this is the middle? Yeah, I have no idea where the things that you were
I don't know
the
where
things
we
would
are.
have been on the just for the purpose of this would have been the table. It's currently square, but the table is round, and the two things would be where I'm about to put them down right here.
Okay.
So this. Oh, sorry.
Oh wait, I have advantage on initiative. Ew.
This is one of the creatures.
17.
It would be right there. Nepenthe, you're gonna have to step back a little bit because you would be in the space of one of these creatures. And
I'll be like here.
And this is the other one.
Oh wait, I already.
There we go. All right. So as much as an anticlimactic end as that is, we're actually gonna finish up here for tonight. Have our two other party members join us for next session, and beat up some automatons. Thank you for joining us today. We hope you have a wonderful night.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.